Here are the news headlines on Leadership TV. Immigration naps notorious native doctor wanted for kidnapping, ritual killings in Enugu. Classroom collapses during WAEC exam in Taraba. Atiku slams Tinubu's midterm performance, warns of debt slavery. Reps blame poor road conditions on underfunding. And on sports, Team Delta wins National Sports Festival for 5th consecutive time. Thanks for joining us. I am Cynthia Onwado. Here are the news in detail. Nigerian Immigration Service has confirmed the arrest of a notorious native doctor wanted for kidnapping and ritual killings in Enugu State. Levi Obieze, popularly known as Ide Play, Ide Show, was apprehended at the Baji checkpoint along the Badagry Seme Road in Lagos while attempting to flee the country on a motorcycle. This was revealed in a statement by the NIS Public Relations Officer Akinsola Akinlabi on behalf of the Controller General Kemi Nanda. Obieze, a resident of Umojo village in Isiagu local government, or rather community, had been declared wanted by the Enugu State Police Command following his alleged involvement in the abduction of a 13-year-old girl and the discovery of 2 decomposing bodies of pregnant women in his compound. According to the eyewitness accounts, the girl was kidnapped on her way to the farm with her father after 2 men posing as stranded commuters lured them into helping with a supposedly faulty motorcycle. As the father tried to assist, one of the men grabbed the girl and sped off. The father raised the alarm, prompting a swift response from local vigilantes and police officers. Their search led them to Obieze's compound where he allegedly tried to stop them. The girl was eventually rescued, and during a further search, the decomposed bodies were found in soakaway pits on the premises. Viral videos circulating online showed a furious mob dragging Obieze naked through the community. Known for his extravagant lifestyle and public displays of wealth, he had reportedly gone into hiding with his 4 wives before being caught. Authorities say Obieze has confessed to the crimes during preliminary interrogation. He was identified using a national identity management slip found on him and is currently in custody as arrangements have been made for his handover to the police for further investigation. And in other news story, tragedy was narrowly averted in Taraba State on Wednesday when a classroom building collapsed during an ongoing West African Senior School Certificate examination. The incident occurred at Government Secondary School, Namnai, in Gasol local government area following a heavy downpour accompanied by a windstorm. Final year students, teachers, exam supervisors, and 7 core members were inside the building when the structure gave way. The collapse happened around 6 p.m. shortly after the students had begun their examination. According to eyewitnesses, the first group of candidates had already completed their session and left, while the second set was just settling in when the disaster struck. Residents of the area immediately launched a rescue operation, pulling out the trapped students and staff from the rubble. It took several hours before all the victims were accounted for. A local resident, Alhaji Dan Azumi Loris, who spoke to reporters by phone, confirmed that several students sustained injuries including broken legs and arms. Some teachers and corps members also suffered minor injuries. The injured victims were rushed to a nearby primary healthcare center for emergency treatment, and the medical personnel at the facility say they are managing the situation and no deaths have been reported. And now a senior special assistant to the president on citizenship and leadership, Rinsola Abiola, says the tax reforms introduced by President Bola Tinubu are designed to empower young Nigerians and create a more inclusive economic system. Speaking at a youth and tax town hall meeting in Abuja, Abiola said the reforms are focused not just on raising revenue, but on creating opportunities, supporting entrepreneurship, and involving young people in national development. She said the administration is committed to ensuring that youths are not left behind in the country's economic transformation. Abiola stated that the reforms were crafted with the interests of young Nigerians in mind, whether they are professionals, salary earners, or business owners. She stressed that youths are no longer just future leaders but active participants in shaping Nigeria's present and future economic policies. Also speaking at the event, the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adeliji, represented by Special Advisor on Research and Statistics, Associate Professor Aisha Mahmood Haman, called on youths to take an active interest in tax matters. He said taxation is not only a fiscal tool but also a social contract that ensures governments can meet the needs of citizens. Adedeji emphasized that building a strong culture of voluntary tax compliance begins with engaging the youth, to represent over 60% of Nigeria's population. He acknowledged that many see taxation as a burden, but said the FIRS is working to change this perception by promoting transparency, accountability, and inclusion. He unveiled the Young Tax Champions program, an initiative aimed at educating students and young professionals about tax processes and responsibilities. He said the goal is to simplify tax procedures, provide incentives, and link compliance with access to business support and credit. And still in the news, as President Bola Tinubu marks 2 years in office, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has launched a scathing critique of the administration, accusing it of economic mismanagement, rising poverty, and pushing Nigeria into what he described as debt slavery. Atiku, who was the People's Democratic Party's PDP presidential candidate in the 2023 election, made remarks in a series of posts on his official X handle on Thursday. In his strongly worded statements, he labeled the Tinubu-led administration as one of the most incompetent, disconnected, and anti-people governments in Nigeria's democratic history. The former vice president said the administration had deepened the sufferings of ordinary Nigerians, citing soaring cost of living, increased public service fees, and a worsening hunger crisis. He pointed to the 2024 Global Hunger Index, which ranks Nigeria 18th globally for hunger and malnutrition, worse than countries facing active conflicts like Sudan. Atiku also raised alarm over what he called the administration's wasteful public spending, criticizing recent policy decisions such as a 75% hike in National Identity Management Commission (NIMC) fees and sharp increases in university tuition. Atiku accused the Tinubu administration of favoring the wealthy while shifting the financial burdens onto vulnerable Nigerians. On Nigeria's public debt, Atiku expressed deep concern. He claimed that the country's debt has surged from 49 trillion naira in 2023 to over 144 trillion naira in just 2 years. He warned that additional foreign borrowing requests could drive the debt further to 183 trillion naira, representing more than 60% of Nigeria's total foreign reserves. In a direct call to action, Atiku urged lawmakers, civil society, the media, and international partners to intervene and resist what he termed reckless governance. And now the House Committee, or rather the House of Representatives Committee on the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, has blamed the poor state of roads across Nigeria on chronic underfunding and insufficient maintenance resources. Chairman of the committee, Engineer Aderemi Abbas Hussein, made the remarks while addressing journalists in Ilori, the Kwara state capital, during an oversight visit covering several states in the southwest region, including Kwara, Ekiti, Lagos, Oyo, Osun, and Ogun. Hussein, who represents Ido Ibarapa East Federal Constituency of Oyo State, revealed that FEMA currently receives only about 10% of the funds it needs annually to effectively maintain federal roads across the country. He lamented that the current financial allocation to the agency is grossly inadequate to address the scale of deteriorating seen worldwide. A lawmaker emphasized the importance of FEMA in ensuring safer and more durable roads infrastructure, noting that neglecting maintenance is partly to blame for the worsening state of transportation and logistics in Nigeria. As part of the committee's mandate, the lawmakers are touring various states to assess how appropriated funds are being utilized and to ensure that road maintenance projects are executed in line with the 2024 budgetary provisions. Hussein expressed satisfaction with the progress made so far. The committee reaffirmed its commitment to advocating for increased budgetary allocations to FEMA and ensuring that all roads are judiciously used to improve road conditions nationwide. And finally, now on sports news, Team Delta has once again emerged champions of the National Sports Festival, clinching their 5th consecutive title and reaffirming their dominance in Nigerian sports. At the 22nd edition of the festival, tagged Gateway Games 2024, Delta took a commanding lead with 209 gold, 75 silver, and 87 bronze medals. This puts them well ahead of other top contenders, including Bayelsa with 80 gold, Ogu with 69, Rivers with 65, and Edo with 55. Though some events are still ongoing ahead of the closing ceremony this Thursday, May 29th, Delta's lead is unassailable, securing their place at the top once again. This latest triumph is Delta's 9th overall in the history of the biannual competition. Their winning tradition dates back to the Bauchi 2000 games, followed by victories in Abuja in 2004, Ogun 2006, Kaduna 2009, Lagos 2012, Abuja 2018, and now Ogun 2024. The executive chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Honorable Honorio De Oborovori, dedicated the win to Governor Sheriff Oborovori. He praised the governor's commitment to youth development and sports through the MORE agenda, describing it as a key driver of the team's success. Oborovori also commended the athletes, coaches, and technical staff for their discipline and hard work. He described the win as more than just medal haul, calling it a symbol of hope and a testament to the state's investment in its youths. And that's all the news we have for you on Leadership TV. For more of our news stories, you can log on to our website, www.leadership.ng. Thanks for watching.
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the